Hello, my name is Ling and I will be your examiner today. And today we will have a speaking test. The test will last in three parts and it will last between 11 and 14 minutes. So let's start with part one. In part one, I would ask you a few questions about yourself. Let's talk about music. Do you like music?
Absolutely. I'm actually a fan of music. My favorite song is FKJ's. I really love listening to FKJ music because it helps me to ease my mind after I work hard, long day. Yeah.
So, what is your favorite type of music and why?
I don't have too much knowledge on this, but I would say something soft, Indian music actually. And FKJ is actually a very well-known songwriter and like songmaker of this type music as well. And I find listening to his music very relaxing and chilling, especially when I'm cycling or riding my bike on the road.
Where do you usually listen to music?
As I just said, I usually listen to music while I'm doing things, yeah, like cycling and riding bike because I grow boredoms really fast and I need to have something placed around my head to help me to stay concentrated while doing those things.
So, has your taste in music changed over time?
Definitely. Back when I was young, I used to listen to K-pop. My favorite band was BTS. It was a band of seven Korean boys, and their music was fire. But as time went by, now I would like to prefer something more chilly, something softer. And that's why I said FKJ is now my go-to.
Have you ever learned to play a musical instrument?
Yeah, actually, I had. Well, I tried learning piano, but things turned ugly. So now I'm a guitarist myself. I've been learning playing a guitar for 5 years plus, but still, I'm a beginner because I don't really have too much time to practice it. Yeah.
Do you prefer listening to music alone or with others?
It really depends on the situation I'm in. When I'm cycling, I just prefer listening to music alone so that I can chill with the song, maybe a little bit of singing and to like practice my voice. But I still really love listening to music and enjoy it with my friends, especially when I'm having some kind of pop or hip hop music. It feels really great. Uh, it actually was yesterday, me and my group of friends, we heard the new album of Phùng Khánh Linh, and we actually enjoyed it. We sung all of from the bottom of our lung, and it was crazy and also enjoyable.
All right, so this is the end of part one. Now we'll turn into part two. I will give you a topic and you would have some time to prepare. So the topic is describe an activity you enjoyed in your free time when you were young. You should say what it was, where you did it, who you did it with, and explain why you enjoyed it. You would have 2 minutes to speak, and now you would have 1 minute to prepare. This is your cue card and the paper for you to take note. Your 1 minute will start now. All right, so now you would have 2 minutes to talk about the topic. You can start now.
Okay, so back in my days, I used to do a variety of activities, but my most memorable one and my favorite one that I still do up until now is cycling. So when I was young, especially in secondaries, I was a skinny and unhealthy kid. I had never done any kind of outdoor activities before. But ever since I was bought a new bike, it was actually my birthday gift from my dad. And since then, I start practicing and cycling around the lake where I live. So uh, I find cycling really helps me to increase my health, my physical health, and also my mental health. Not only it helps me to increase my endurance, my stamina, it also really like good at help me to ease my mind after hard working and study day. I really remember one time I had to burn the midnight oil to finish all of my homework for the next week so that I can go for a very long trip. It was actually my longest one. So, me alone with a bike, I went to Đồng Mô Lake, which is like, which is like 60 kilometers away from my house. It was terrifying. So the I had to go back and forth, and it took me around 6 hours. Yeah, the trip was amazing because the scene was beautiful, amazing, and it felt really great that I can achieve something I have never done before. Because I never thought that I could do something that is so incredible like this, conquering myself, push myself to the limits. After I went back home, I was totally exhausted. I couldn't even stand. So what I did was collapse on the ground on my living room, and I slept for 8 hours straight. Well, so I really love cycling, even though that it can be terrifying and tiring. But I really love the feeling that I can conquer myself and push myself to the limit. So in the future, I would definitely do more of this long trip to help me to clear my mind, and also to push myself to more limits and step out of my comfort zone.
Okay, so this is the end of this speaking part 2. Now we will turn into part 3. Right, so I will take the cue card back. Right. Now in part 3, I would ask you some more general questions related to the topic that you have just talked about. The first question is it important to have a break during work or study?
Well, from my perspective, I think having breaks is compulsory because we are human. We are not machines, and even machines need to have times, break time, and it needs to be taken care of. So when people work or study for a long time, for example, like 5 to 6 hours, they do need a break, like at least an hour break. Maybe go for lunch, take a walk, or just play some music so they can relax down. And I think if they don't take breaks during those work, they will be burnt out and exhausted. So it will greatly affect their productivity and maybe have some negative outcome.
Mhm. So, what sports do young people like to do now?
Actually, most of the popular sport are volleyball, basketball, and I think pickleball, which is just been well known for months. But the problem is, kids nowadays they don't usually do sports that much no more. Yeah, they used to do it a lot because the technology wasn't developed back then. So as the time changed, more technological device went in. Kids nowadays usually play iPads and online videos like Roblox, Minecraft, and etc. So I think we do really need to make a change and push themselves to do more outdoor activities, not only to increase their physical health, but to let them know what the real world is, not just inside the screen.
Mhm. Are there more activities for young people now than 20 years ago?
Okay, so there are actually more, but things are different. So I think back in the past, when I wasn't even born yet, so people used to have a lot of physical and outdoor activities like running, cycling, and maybe just playing with their neighbors. Nowadays, since the modernization, we have a lot of technological device, and it really helps. But it's a double-sword edge. Oh, it's a double-edged sword. Sorry. So it can help us to have more entertainment and convenience, but also it really like stop us from being energetic and active.
All right, so can most people balance work and life in Vietnam?
Okay, let me think. Well, I think for the older generation, no, but it's totally different for the younger generation, which is the Gen Z, because I've seen a lot of youngster or like the brand new adults, they called, okay, they really good at balancing work. My cousin, for example, she has a 9 to 5 work and she needs to do it very seriously, but still, she has a lot of time for her family. I remember vividly one time we had a family gathering. Yeah, she was totally busy and she didn't even have any time for herself. But with her creativity, her energetic personality, she managed to figure it out how to balance between work and life. So now she is really comfortable with living her life and she's enjoying it.
Mhm. So, what activities do children and adults do nowadays?
Hmm, okay. The adult usually push the children to do a lot of homeworks, to study a lot, just to get a good grade so they can have a bright future, something. And as a consequence, their children won't have too much time playing around or at least do some outdoor activities. And I really think it's a bad thing. I'm not saying that studying is bad, but doing it too much can really uh, harm the children's creativity and their physical health. So I think both of the parents and children should like spend more time doing uh, going around on the park or maybe have picnics to not only increase the bonding but also to ease their mind after like doing or like working a lot of things.
Mhm. All right. So this is the end of the speaking test. So
Okay.
thank you for coming to the test room today and share your ideas with the audience. Now I'm going to give you some feedback and I also give you an estimated score for your performance. Firstly, let's talk about fluency and coherence. I think that you would deserve a 9 because you could talk smoothly and you could also transition smoothly between the sentences. And you sometimes you did have some pauses, but that was pretty quick and it did not affect your coherence at all. So that is for fluency and coherence. In the three parts of your performance, let's start with part one. So in this part, the questions are mostly about yourself, or we say personal questions. You could expand your ideas in 4 to 3 sentences in each question, and you could also explain why you had that choice, and you could also provide some examples for your answer. Um, then for part two, I think that you did have good storytelling technique when you clearly demonstrated your favorite activity, which was cycling, and you also mentioned the reason why you had that activity, as well as mentioning some of its benefits. And you also provided perhaps your future intention with cycling. And then for part three, I think that this part you also demonstrated well on giving justifications for your experiences. Then for pronunciation, I think that you would get an 8. I would say that your pronunciation was pretty easy to understand, and you had effective chunking as well as intonation. And sometimes I think that you did have some um, just a few or minor problem with like the ending sound. But I think it's just because like you were chunking them together, so some sound were missing, but that would not actually affect meaning. And then for lexical resource, I think that I will give you a 9 because you had a variety, you had a good control of vocabulary range from A1 to C2, and you also included some idioms like burn midnight oil. And then for grammar, I think that in this um, mock test, you would probably get a 7 to 8 because sometimes you had some problem with part of speech, like you said, I would grow boredom. Instead, you should say I grow bored of the activities. And then in the part two, when you mentioned that I have never done this before, but you are still talking about a past experience. So it should be I had never done this before. All right, but generally, the mistakes here are just minor, and they would not actually affect the coherence of your performance, or it would not actually affect the meaning of the overall message. But still, you will need to perhaps integrate more complex sentences because now you are mostly using relative clauses as well as the if condition, the if or the conditional sentences. And I think that if you want to enhance your grammar score, perhaps you would need to integrate more complex structures like inversions, like that. All right. So in general, I think that you will get an estimated band score of 8 to 8.5 for your performance. Right. So do you have any questions?
Nope, I'm really good. Thank you.
All right, so this is the end of the mock test. So now, do you want to share any of your experiences with the audience, like how you felt about the exam room today and the questions or the topic in general?
I think the topic was quite suited to myself, and the exam room, the environment is really good. That's why I think just like it greatly contributed to my performance today, and I really love the outcomes. Yeah.
All right, so thank you for watching, and we hope to see you the next time.